Okay, last problem in this form has you writing the equation of the polynomial that has a degree of 4. It has only two roots, 1 and -1, but there's a slide at -1, which is important to note. And then we have it passing through a y-intercept of 4. So there's a lot of information here. Let's go ahead and start organizing it. First thing I'm going to do is write down my roots and then change those to factors. So if I have a root of 1, that's going to change to a factor of x minus 1. If you're not sure how to do that, watch one of the other 3 videos in this form and you should be able to follow along. If we have a root of -1, we will change that to be a factor of x plus 1. But here's the important thing about that. That has a slide. So we talked about with slides, it's going to be an odd power bigger than 1. So we use 3. That's my smallest odd number. That's good. The only thing that would prevent me from knowing exactly what power to use there is if I didn't know what the degree of the polynomial needed to be. In this case, I know that my degree needs to be 4. So knowing that helps me know that this would end up having a degree of 3. And when we multiply it by our other factor, we're going to get our degree of 4. So we don't need any additional or a higher power here. 3 is just fine. Okay, so now let's get started writing the actual equation. I know my equation is going to be y equals some stretch factor multiplied by my roots, or my factors, I guess. Now I just need to figure out what a is. To find a, I use the fact that we know our y-intercept is 4. Guys, that just means we have an ordered pair of 0, 4. Y is 4, x is 0. So I can put that information into my equation. So we know y is 4. We don't know a. We're finding a. And then I know that my x's all have to be zeros. So 0 minus 1 times 0 plus 1. And then cubed. So now we just have to solve this equation. All right, so I've got 4 equals a times -1, and then 0 plus 1 is 1. 1 cubed, well, that's just 1. So a times -1, which is the same thing as saying -1a. So if I divide both sides by -1, I'm going to get -4 equals a. That's all we need to write this equation. We now know what our stretch factor is. So I'm going to write my equation, and I'm just going to put in -4 for a and keep everything else exactly as I already had it. And that is your equation.